We're going to have a fast experience of top 100, top 1,000. Let me first of all give you the mechanics. Because what I find is that when it's not working ideally, it's because somebody doesn't understand the mechanics. And so I want to make sure everybody in the room is listening. Even though you think you know this, I want you hearing like you've never heard this before. Okay? So it's really, really simple. Don't complicate it. Rule number 1, do not complicate this thing. Okay? So top 100 works like this. It's a list of approximately 100, but it could be 200, it could be 50. It depends on the size of your bank, how much you want to invest in this area. But approximately 100 people that are a combination of prospects, customers, and centers of influence. Prospects, customers, and centers of influence. Okay, that's who needs to go on there. Now, the reason you have your customers on it is why? Because you don't want one of your prospects having them on their top 100 list, okay, and having them feeling neglected. So it's a way to really keep them bonded and buying more and telling your story, okay? So that's why you have the customers on the list. It's obvious why you have the prospects on the list, because you're warming them. Here's how it works. You warm and warm and warm. Where are the people from Farmers? Okay, so you guys did something really cool when we first got started. You were looking for deposits, and you were saying, we need to get a lot of deposits, we need to do it quickly. And there was a bank in the area, and there was some bad press about how they were doing, and I said, okay, I want you screaming into a top 100 and top 1,000 process like there's just no, you know, all hands on deck here, we're moving. And so I said, you know, get a huge top 1,000 list. So your top 1,000 list, I'll go over in just a second. And you mail, and you give once every week. Boom, boom, boom. So usually you do the top 100, top 1,000 once a month. But I said give every week for a while just to break the attention. Because right now in the press, what's going on is bad news about them. You want to have people see that you're giving, giving, giving. They're going to be getting this stuff. Now, when they open their mail and they have this give of this wonderful sharing of information or a book that you send or something, and they get that in their hands, what do they think?
Wow.
Somebody just gave me $1 bill. What's that all about? And then the next week they get another one. Well, they're not even asking me to come in or talk to anybody, or they're not talking about this new bada bing bada boom gadget they have. They're just giving me some more value. Then the third one comes. Oh my gosh, I just got some more value. What are the words that are going through their brain? My bank doesn't do anything for me. Are they now vulnerable to come to you? And now you have a reputation with them that says, we stick with you. We're going to be by you here. We're going to be giving and giving and giving value. My bank hasn't been doing anything, so when they come, do they just try you out with one little thing? No, you've already given more than they have when you started. So they bring everything because you've developed a relationship. So the top 100 works like this. It's prospects, it's customers, and it's centers of influence. Centers of influence are your realtors, your CPAs, your attorneys, your thought leaders in the community that when they move, everybody else moves too. That's a center of influence. And so, you know, you want to have one of the best marketing strategies you can ever do is identifying who are the marquee customers you want to bring in, because then you can say, we do business with so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and people go, oh, well, then this must be good because the best ones are coming in. Okay, so you're going into the marquee customers. So the list can be distributed amongst those three. You decide how you want to break it up, but make sure you have all three components in your list. Can it be 250? Yes. Okay. Can it be 500? Yes. But we distinguish it from the top 1,000 by what you give. So the top 100 will be always giving something of value, but every once in a while you give something that has some great value. So the key is that you give something of value, like a book, about once every quarter. And you send a letter, and the letter always is just 2 or 3 sentences that basically, you know, maybe ties into your brand and gives them something that, and you explain why you're giving it to them. So I'm giving this book to you. We're sending this book to you. We found this to be an invaluable book for teaching the spirit of people about how to be in the workplace. Okay, so you send it to your businesses, and you have a message like that, and they go, cool. But you don't say, come see us sometime. You don't say, and we have totally free checking. You don't say any of that stuff. Do you get that part? No marketing materials, no stuffers, no nothing, okay? It's just your letterhead with a couple lines and a hand signature. Now, a mail house will immediately tell you, oh, we can laser signature that for you. No. Why? Because it breaks the principle. What's the principle? Personal contribution, okay? And so sometimes it comes from the CEO, sometimes it can come from a head of a department or a lender or something, Diane?
The best result for a commercial lender, like, is not like always with the program, okay? We sent a book called 100 Vacations to Enrich Your Life. And all he did is he put a little note in there that said, just for fun.
Oh.
And he got the best results of people calling him back, thanking him for the book.
It's great. Brilliant.
So,
brilliant.
That's all he wrote is just for fun.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, great. Okay, so that's the top 100 process. Now, here's how you make this work in your company. Don't make this any harder than this. Please take notes. Don't deviate. You can have someone who turns this into a 40-hour-a-week process. It should take about an hour a month tops, okay? So all it looks like is this. You get a good administrator who sends the Excel spreadsheet. Keep it in an Excel spreadsheet. Even though you can have it in your database, you can have it there too, but keep it in an Excel spreadsheet because you have to be able to look and see who was added when, who was taken off when, and what have we sent them. So the key is that the administrator keeps the list. Then once a month, they pop it out to all those concerned. So salespeople, the head of retail, whoever, who should be giving input about who should be added and taken off from the list. And they ask people, send in, here's your list. Who do you want to add or subtract? Now, and then they have to give them a deadline. Okay, deadline is, you got, and it should usually be 24 or 48 hours to turn it. Don't turn this into a Mongolian goat rodeo where you give them weeks to think about it and have meetings and whatever. Just send them on in, and then somebody's got to decide. So whether it's the CEO or the head of retail or head of commercial, or maybe it's both of those, should just quickly look over that list. The administrator should walk in with that and go, who gets added, who gets taken off, and so they can just kind of make the final notations, and then that's the list for the month. And then it goes off to the mail house along with a letter that gets drafted by the and the administrator can even craft the letter that says thought you'd be interested in this, or just for fun, or whatever it says. So we send out Girl Scout cookies every year. People love Girl Scout cookies. Paul's smiling. He's gotten them. He knows.
Now I know what to do with those Girl Scouts.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to make a little Girl Scout very, very happy. Okay. And so our brand is we're teaching banks to be entrepreneurial. Stop being kind of like bureaucratic just because the big banks are. We're teaching you to be entrepreneurial. And so I'll always have a little message in there about who can say no to some little girl with big blue eyes who wants to do her first sale. Okay, which basically teaches a message of get out there and ask for the sale, right? Okay, so it's also a little bit of a teaching experience because our brand is teaching, so you want to have it tie into your brand as well. So when you write your 1 or 2 sentences, tie in with your brand, and off it goes for the top 100. Now the top 1,000 is just like the top 100, only you have more, and you don't give expensive things, you just give informational things. So like the things that Salisbury had yesterday, when they do some facelifts on it, to have those kind of things going out as a series, perfect top 1,000 stuff. Okay, so first of all, where do you find your list for the top 1,000? Okay, now when you went through boot camp, we talked about parallel markets. So we talked about, finding, first of all the people within a market that you're good with. So you analyze your current database and say, who are our most profitable accounts? These are our marquee customers, they're the ones that bring it to the bottom line, and you want to get people just like them. So what you do then is you identify. So maybe you have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different niche markets that you say, these are our people. And when I say niche market, now Ford let you off the hook yesterday with small business. I don't let you off the hook with small business. I want it deeply driven down. You've got a question, yes?
Yeah, Roxanne, is the top 1,000 all prospects in, or is it a combination?
It's a combination as well, okay? And so you can just go a little bit deeper. So same principles again, but you're just going deeper. So gives can be, first of all, information is the it, guys. Right now, people want to know how things work. What I loved about what Salisbury did yesterday is they took complex topics that none of us can, figure out because we don't have enough time to sort through the magnitude of information, and they brought it down to a page that says, here's how you get the energy tax credit. Here's how you set up this kind of a trust and why you do that kind of thing. And they brought it down to 4 or 5 different paragraphs in the Ask Your Banker or whatever, and it was brilliant. It was nice and concise. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Top 1000.